I met my wife on a dating app in late 23, and she found out she was pregnant in early 24. And
was it yours?
Yes.
Okay.
And so August, I am a father of a beautiful baby girl. And so my life kind of changed, basically overnight. I went from being single, not really a bachelor, but definitely single, to wife, kids.
Oh, so you got married? Y'all went and got married?
We got married, yeah.
Okay. Was that a good decision?
I mean, I feel like it was. I feel like she was pretty, like, definitely open. Like, she definitely went like full feet in, like I did. Like, she was like, yes, I want to do this. I want to, continue to build our relationship. Yes, it's going to look different because we're going to be married and we're going to have a kid. But I feel like we have enough of a foundation there that we can do that. That was what she said to me.
Enough of a foundation. We had 60 whole days. Like, we're in. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all are in it, dude. So your baby is a year old now?
She's
18 months?
Little 6 months.
6 months, okay.
So she was born August of 24.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm great with math. All right, so 6 months old. So your whole life is like a human explosion. Okay.
Yeah, literally sometimes. So I, she had her maternity leave, and after that, of course, as we've discussed several times on the show, childcare is very expensive. So I said, okay, I'll take on the burden of, being a stay-at-home dad. I also work full-time, so I do IT work, so it's very hit or miss whether I'm busy or, like, a lot of the time it's very slow. I do have a lot of downtime for my job. So I'm basically getting paid to take care of her and run the house.
What does she do for a living?
She works in skilled nursing.
Okay. All right.
So I took all this on, and so I'm working full time. I'm taking care of the baby full time, doing all of the household chores. And I just feel like I'm kind of lost somewhere. Like where am I? And then kind of to add on to this, I'm legally blind. I can see. I'm basically nearsighted essentially, but I can't drive. So there's no going out on the weekend. There's no me driving anywhere or doing anything like that. So I hate to use the word like prisoner, right? But some days I wake up and I do feel that way.
Sure.
And so before all this started, my social kind of outlet was video games, because obviously I can't just get up and go to the bar or go to bowling every weekend. Or it's very difficult for me to do those things, even with Uber and whatever, Mm-hmm. So that's kind of always been my social outlet. That's been my, mental outlet, to just shut everything else off and, go blow stuff up for a couple hours or whatever, And I feel like now, like, that's just completely gone. And I feel horrible for feeling that. Like, I feel selfish for wanting that time. And it's just, I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, totally. I guess I'm trying to think of the right words. I won't try to get cute with it. Dude, if you should be feeling overwhelmed. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? Like, you're working a full-time job. You're a full-time caretaker. Your wife goes and works a very difficult job. You've also got a considerable limitation, like a physical limitation. Yeah, you should totally be feeling overwhelmed. And yes, most of the time I get this call or have this conversation, it's in reverse, right? The guy runs off to work and wife is trying to work from home and manage everything. Like, so but that prisoner language, I hear that over and over and over and over again. So I don't say that to make you, I want you to know you're not crazy, okay? And there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. There's nothing for you to feel wrong. Like you're not doing anything wrong, Okay. In fact, you're doing a pretty heroic thing. You're doing a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. And you're doing it in an unclassical way. And so it can feel really isolating because none of your other guy friends are probably doing something similar. But
no way.
Yeah, but no, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? Like you're stepping up and taking care of your responsibilities and y'all are trying to make it work. What I wish every single parent of a new baby knew. And by the way, can we also be honest? You're still trying to work out how to be married to this person. You don't know them that well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like you think you know them well, you don't. And so you're figuring that out. What marriage even looks like, what does love look like? How do we keep romance alive? We're not even keeping it alive. How do we continue to build romance, right? All this stuff is new. How do you be married to somebody who deals with secondary traumatic stress all day long? How does she be married to somebody who struggles with sight limitations? Y'all are figuring all this stuff out. It's a lot. So feeling overwhelmed is right, okay? What I wish every new parent would do would be to sit down with their partner and just make a plan for 90 days, 3 months. And then revisit that plan. And because what most couples do is they try to create the rest of their life the day the baby's born. I'm going to stay at home forever. And that's a bold proclamation when you don't know what's going to happen financially. You don't know what's going to happen. You may wake up and realize, I hate being trapped in this house. Or I am going back to work forever. And then you realize, I don't care about what anyone else, what this corporation wants me to do. I want to be with my kid, right? So if you do it 3 months at a time, and you're always planning on coming back to the table saying, how are you? How are you? It gives each other an opportunity to drop your shoulders and for her to say, I want to go 3/4 time because I'm missing this baby. Or it allows you to say, hey, I'm getting to the end of the day and I'm completely fried and I just want an hour of unplug with my video game nerd friends. Or, hey, I've got to get out of this house. When you get home, I know you're tired too, but I need you to take us all in the car and we're going to go to a local park and just be outside. And I know our baby's a lump of human, but I want to walk around with you. I just need to get out of the house. And so you're renegotiating and not negotiating in a win, like somebody wins and somebody loses, but maybe a better word is you're reimagining it every 3 months. And that way it gives you permission to say, hey, I don't like this arrangement, or parts of this arrangement aren't working, or I can't carry this full load like this. And she gets to come to the table and say the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
But dude, the greatest gift you can give that kid and your brand new wife is for you to be whole. And that means you got to be honest about what it means to be whole.
Yeah. And we've had the conversation about me, unplugging for an hour or whatever. And her comeback to that is, I work 50 hours a week. I'm away from you and her. And I don't want to take away any time from our family so that you can go be by yourself or, be with your online friends or whatever it is.
I get that. But also, I mean, it's a negotiation, right? It's a reimagination. And I'll say, how cool is it that she comes home from a super stressed job and she looks at you and says, I want to be with you. And also, in reverse, how many exhausted, fried moms / professionals, when dad gets home from his 60-hour week, says, you're taking the kids. I need some time off. Right? It's just a common thing. It may be for a year. You're playing video games after the house is asleep. And that just may be when that's got to be for you. And that's just part of being a dad and a husband and making a sacrifice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, I've been married for 23 years and I still do most of my down the hatch nerd work, like reading journal articles and reading like really deep. I do that at night after the house is asleep. Because that's when I have an hour of focus and that is not taking away from something else that I also deem important. Because I don't want to get into a competition between something I love, which is researching mental health nerd stuff, and my family. I love my family more than life itself. And I also have this passion about this other stuff. I love it. And so I don't want ever those things to compete. And so I'm going to do what I got to do during the day. And I'm going to do what I get to do during the day. And that's be with my loved ones. And then I'm going to carve an hour out at night. And some nights, I go to bed because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And that's okay.
Yeah. And it's just been a lot. And I try and power through, I do the normal guy thing, right? Like you've talked about dozens of times, like just power through. Like that's our culture now. Is that we're expected to do that with little or no, thanks or little to no, appreciation. And I've expressed that to her, and we've gotten a lot better. I think she's gotten a lot better about expressing that as well. It's just, it's just a lot sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot. But dude, both of you give yourself a metric dump truck ton of grace. You are trying to to become a husband, continue to improve professionally, and to be a new dad, and to be a stay-at-home dad, and to deal with physical limitations all at the same time. You are trying to do an oil change while your car is flying down the highway at 80 miles an hour. That's hard. You're going to get some oil on you, on the car, and on the ground, period, right?
Yeah.
What I want you and your wife to do is build in natural back to the table moments. That way it doesn't have to be in a huge, like you hear me say this on the show all the time, turn the lights on and turn the music off. You don't have to do that when you build it in. When every week y'all get together and say, hey, what's our budget for the month? Hey, or how are we doing financially? How are we doing? Like, what's our sex life like? Hey, how are you hanging in there? I'm wiped. Right? Or she can say, hey, I had six like major traumas. I'm fried this weekend. I just need to unplug. And you might be thinking, I was about to say that too, but I'm going to power through this weekend because we have a 6-month-old, and then next weekend I'm going to really unplug. Right? There is give and take during these seasons. There just is. Everybody's sacrificing. But she doesn't get to come home and do the more traditional male line, which is, I work so hard, I get to come home and just do what. She didn't get to do that either, right? Both of y'all are coming to the table. Because if it was reversed and you were calling me being like, I work so hard, and she works a full-time job and stays at home with the kid and does everything, and she's blind and can't drive, but I just want to come home and chill, you know what I'd say to you, right? I'd be all over you too. So
absolutely,
the same thing applies to her. But I would love it if you said, hey, starting this week, I want to start planning a Sunday night, like 35 or 45 minutes. Let's just exhale. And depending on what kind of nursing she does, whether it's trauma or she's got a set patient load, and she can tell you this week's going to be just straightforward, or this week's going to be a hard one. Or if she works trauma, you just know it's just going to be hard because that's just the nature of that job. And y'all can begin to exhale and say, okay, what do we need this week? How can we love each other this week? And on Wednesday night and Friday night, after you're in bed, I'm going to go nerd out with my nerd friends on the internets. And Saturday, we're going to go as a family and go outside because we got to get some sunlight in our life, and on and on and on. But begin to map that out. And then every 30 days, put a star on the calendar. And this is everybody okay? Is everybody okay with the arrangement that we're making? Because we made this arrangement, which means we can change it at any time. And if she says, I hate this job, cool. If you say, I need some help around the house, maybe you're not going to go full-time childcare, but maybe you're going to hire a 6th grader or somebody that will take the kid 3 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just go play so you can exhale a little bit and get some stuff done, right? Whatever that looks like. But we're going to negotiate that every 3 months, and then we're going to go from there. But bro, give yourself some grace, man. Y'all are in it. And I'm proud of you for doing the next right thing, no matter how hard it is. I see that on you, man, and I'm proud of you. Keep going.